Hello, everybody. It's Nate Ocean here of Big Talk with Big Nate. So it's the summer, show is off the airwaves, but I want to talk Knicks for a little bit. I want to get my whole take on what's going on with them, what they got to do, what they shouldn't do. So let's go. So let's get right to it. Knicks on Monday night or Tuesday night, whichever one it was, didn't end up getting the first overall pick against Zion Williamson. They ended up getting the third pick. First pick went to New Orleans. Second pick went to Memphis. Third to the Knicks. Fourth to the Lakers. Fifth to the Cavs. Sixth to the Suns. Seventh to the Bulls. That was kind of funny that the whole thing kind of didn't go nearly as planned for many teams. But Knicks have the third pick. At the time, like most Knicks fans, I was heated. I was furious. Just asked Jason Pombo of Pombo and Milliken. I was on FaceTime with him. I screamed. I was heated. Slept on it a little bit, kind of realized that third pick's not that bad. Still a good pick. It's still the third pick in a draft that has arguably three guys that are considered to be elites, future elites in the NBA. And the Knicks have a third pick, so we're gonna get one of the guys, so that's good. But there's a lot of talk going around right now if the Knicks should trade that pick or if they should keep it. I think you do not trade that pick. What do you got? You got Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is kind of said, too, that if he goes to the Knicks, he's not going to sign right away. He's going to wait and see if he can win there. That being said, no thank you. No thank you. If he comes out tomorrow, though, and says, oh, the only team I want to sign a long-term extension with is the New York Knicks, I still don't do that trade. Because what has Anthony Davis done in 7 years in New Orleans? Who's he had around him? Nikola Mirotic for a couple of seasons? DeMarcus Cousins for 17 games, then he missed the half of the next season because of an injury. Drew Holiday? Oh, Drew Holiday. Whoa! No, he's had no one around him. Many believe that it's because of the market, it's New Orleans, not really a basketball city. But what if part of it has to do with Anthony Davis? What are these stars that are on the market just don't want to play with him? He's done nothing in the playoffs. He's been to the playoffs twice in his career. The first time he got bounced out of the first round. Second time he got bounced out of the second round. He's done nothing in the playoffs. Nothing to make me believe that if he's the star on the New York Knicks, that they're going to the playoffs or that they're going to win a championship. He's done nothing. Let's say they trade the third pick for Anthony Davis. They draft it. They have Anthony Davis, I should say. Then you sign him as one of the max slot guys. You then have two max contract guys. Because the Knicks are going to be like, okay, we're trading for you. We're going to want to lock you up right away. Could not, but my guess is the Knicks are probably going to try to do that. Probably going to say, let's get you locked away right now. That's going to be one of the two max contract slots. Then you have one left. What do? You're probably out of the Kevin Durant sweepstakes because Durant and Anthony Davis are not really the same player, but they're kind of very similar in their play. Anthony Davis is more the power forward center. Durant's kind of like a power forward, small forward. You're probably out of the Kevin Durant sweepstakes. Then what do you do as your last max contract slot? You got Kemba Walker, who I love. Kyrie Irving is out there too. I'm a huge Kemba Walker fan. Connecticut guy. Loved him at UConn. He's a great guy. He's a queen. He's a Brooklyn native. So he's a New York guy. Coming home to New York. I'm sure he'd love that. His family would love that. His friends would love that. But I'll be the first to say he hasn't done anything in Charlotte. Mind you, it's Charlotte and Michael Jordan, great player, terrible owner. He's given him nothing around him. What's he had? Al Jefferson, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Bismack Biyombo. Oh, whoa, Bismack Biyombo. No, he's had nothing around him. But he too, like Anthony Davis, done nothing in the playoffs. A season or two they've gone to the playoffs and they get booted out of the first round. I don't blame that on Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker balls out. He plays his best. He just has no team around him. But based on where he's done in the playoffs, you pair him with Anthony Davis, another guy who's done nothing in the playoffs. Who's to say that big two is going to lead the Knicks to a championship? Let's say you get Kyrie Irving instead. I have my thoughts and opinions on Kyrie Irving. But I will admit he is a very good point guard. He's one of the top 3 point guards in the NBA. Regular season, that is. What did he do before LeBron James went to Cleveland? They were one of the worst teams in the NBA. They signed LeBron James, and then they go to the playoffs. They won a championship. Kyrie Irving wants out because he wants to be the star player. That too, going with Kevin Durant. I know that they're friends, but he's done this before where he's brought in where LeBron James comes in for 4 seasons. They seem buddy, and then he starts bitching and he leaves. But I don't know if that's based on experience that he's done in his career. That same thing might happen. Boston, he sure as hell has had his problems there. Who's to say him and Anthony Davis are going to get it done? I'm not. Kyrie's done nothing on his own in the playoffs. We've seen what he's done now with Boston. He's done nothing. And he's had Jason Tatum, Gordon Hayward, who, yes, is the one-leg wonder, as I always say. He's still Gordon Hayward. He's not what he was in Utah, but he's still Gordon Hayward. He's at Al Horford, who some would say Dylan Saraiva is not a true center, but he's still a very good shooter. He's still a good center. He knocks down threes when you need him to. And he's done nothing. Terry Rozier for a couple seasons. And he's done nothing. What I want the Knicks to do is keep that 3rd pick. Draft R.J. Barrett. Everyone's saying, oh, Memphis is in love with Ja Morant. Based on my experience as a Knicks fan, I'm not buying that until they actually draft Ja Morant. Let's say they draft Ja Morant, Knicks have R.J. Barrett. Let's say the Memphis is actually not in love with Ja Morant. They draft R.J. Barrett. The Knicks have Ja Morant, who I've said Ja Morant is Markelle Fultz 2.0. But I hope I'm wrong if he goes to the Knicks. Many say he could be Russell Westbrook 2.0. That being said, you pair him with Kevin Durant, you pair him with Kemba Walker or Kyrie Irving, you then have 3 great foundation players to build around instead of 2. And Ja Morant learns from Kevin Durant, learns from Kyrie or Kemba. RJ Barrett, same thing, learns from those guys, kind of mesh him and kind of mold him into the way and prepare him to be a great player in the NBA. But I'd rather have 3 great players than 2. Especially when one of them that you trade the 3rd pick for hasn't done anything in the playoffs, and there's questions if he'd sign long term. I could see it now, tomorrow morning. Breaking news: Knicks trade the 3rd pick and whatever for Anthony Davis. I could see it now, and then come this time next season, he walks as a free agent. I could see that in a heartbeat. And then R.J. Barrett, who we then basically trade to New Orleans. They draft Zion and R.J. Barrett, both them Duke guys. R.J. Barrett, let's say he could be the next Kobe Bryant. I could see that. That would be a classic Knicks thing to happen. That being said, what I want the Knicks to do, you keep the 3rd pick, you draft hopefully R.J. Barrett, worst case scenario, Ja Morant. You use one of the max contracts on Kevin Durant. You use the other one on Kemba Walker or Kyrie Irving. You then have Kemba or Kyrie, KD, and R.J. Barrett. You have those are the 3 foundation players of this team for the foreseeable future. The Knicks, in my opinion, would be a title favorite in the Eastern Conference, let alone the NBA. They'd be one of the best teams in the East. I think that they would represent the Eastern Conference in the Finals next season based off that roster. And of course now it sounds too good to be true. What I've come to realize finally is that when you're a Knicks fan, don't expect anything to happen until it actually happens. Shout out to a wise man I know, Keyshawn Evans. That's a great man who once told me that. I always said, oh, Keyshawn, you're crazy. You're a funny kid. You're a jokester. We got a clown in the room. It's Keyshawn. He's making jokes. What he has said is true. That is very true as a Knicks fan. Do not count your chickens until they hatch, whatever the hell the phrase is. But, yeah, I'm nervous for the Knicks. I am. Many people are saying, "Oh, the Knicks are the third favorite, have the 3rd best odds to go to the finals next season." They haven't done anything yet. It's still the playoffs. We haven't done the draft, and free agency hasn't even started. So hopefully, Kevin Durant wants to be a Knick, goes to the Knicks. Hopefully Kemba sees that. He wants to go back to his hometown in New York City and play for his hometown team, the New York Knicks. And hopefully, the Knicks draft R.J. Barrett. Those 3 things happen. With Dave Fizdale, who everyone laughs about Dave Fizdale. If you laugh about Dave Fizdale, you don't know shit about the NBA. Dave Fizdale was the assistant head coach in Miami for a bunch of seasons. Helped helped them win 3 championships. You could say, oh, what do you mean helped them win the championships? It was Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Eric Spoelstra. Assistant head coach is still an assistant head coach. He had great relationships with most of the players. Some say he had better relationships with the players than Eric Spoelstra. Then he gets a head coaching job for the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis runs him out of town after a season and a third because they wanted to appease Marc Gasol, who then ended up being traded this past offseason, or this past trade deadline. And the whole entire and every NBA player and their mother was complaining about, and they were up on Dave Fizdale's side of things. LeBron James, the main one. You're telling me LeBron James hasn't told Kevin Durant about Dave Fizz and how much of a good man he is? I'm sure he has. Then Dave Fizz goes to the New York Knicks. In that moment, Dave Fizdale going to the New York Knicks, you know you're a Knicks fan when you're happy about when this is the biggest thing you've seen since being a Knicks fan. The happiest moment of my career as a Knicks fan was Dave Fizdale agreeing to be the head coach of the New York Knickerbockers. Yes, this past season was terrible. Team was horrendous. Worst record in the NBA. But what happened with Dave Fizdale and the New York Knicks? A big culture change is what happened. The whole culture around the Knicks just changed. The locker room was good. The players were normal people instead of idiots. Besides Enes Kanter. Enes Kanter is a loser. Enes Kanter is a dumbass. Enes Kanter doesn't know anything. He's stupid. So you boot him off the team. Thank you. Besides that idiot, that pompous freak. The whole entire team was just changed. The whole organization just felt, besides James Dolan, that bloated freak, the whole entire organization just felt like it just changed and whatnot. Players were acting like normal people. Everyone seemed to love each other, even though the team was terrible. DeAndre Jordan. This is the guy that complains all the time about wanting to win. Gets traded to the Knicks. And what happens? DeAndre Jordan looks happy to be a New York Knick. He looks happy. He looks happy on the sidelines. He looks happy when he plays. He plays well. And why is that? My guess is probably because of Dave Fizdale. So the Knicks have something going right now. They have Dave Fizdale as the guy that's going to be attracting these players. Everyone's telling me, oh, Nate, no player's going to want to play for the Knicks when James Dolan's their owner. You're stupid. You don't know anything about the NBA. Do you know who Dave Fizdale is? Clearly you don't. You don't. He's Dave Fizdale is going to be the draw to these free agents. Everyone loves Dave Fizdale in the NBA. Name me a player in the NBA, and I guarantee you that guy loves Dave Fizdale or knows about him and knows that he's a good guy. So the Knicks have something going for them, and hopefully they don't find a Knicks way and screw it up. My experience that it'll probably be terrible. And the Knicks will probably settle for DeAndre Hunter, that idiot out of Virginia. They'll probably settle for Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier. That's probably going to be what it is. I'm not expecting greatness. I should tell you that. I'm a big Knicks fan, as everyone knows. But the last week has really changed me. I've kind of realized the Keyshawn way that don't expect great things to happen to the Knicks until those great things actually happen. The Knicks have the third pick. I could be saying, oh, RJ's going to the Knicks. I've been saying it. I'd say it as a joke because I honestly, do I believe it? Until the draft happens, until Zion goes 1, Ja Morant goes 2 to Memphis, because everyone's saying Memphis loves Ja Morant. Could just be saying that, or it could be the belief now, but we still have a month to the draft. Things can change. So I'm not expecting RJ to go to the Knicks. I'm not expecting the Knicks to sign Kevin Durant. I'm not expecting us to sign Kemba or Kyrie. I'm expecting us to sign a max guy, Jimmy Butler. I hope not, but Jimmy Butler. Hopefully things work out for me because I'm a suffering Knicks fan. I've been a Knicks fan since I became a sports fan back in 2009. And greatest thing I've seen, in my opinion, is Dave Fizdale. You could say Carmelo, but Carmelo, I don't even need to say it. It didn't work out. But, how can I forget Amare Stoudemire as well? But I'm hoping things work out for the Knicks. I hope so. I hope so. So, yeah, that's my 15-minute talk in the New York Knicks, everybody. New time for the show next semester, next year. It's going to be Tuesdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Lose an hour, but it's easier for my family and whatnot to listen to. So I want to make the family happy, and yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good though. Still going to be talking a lot of sports, a lot of movies and TV shows. Yeah, it's gonna be a great show. Hopefully, when I go on, I can be happy and talk about the Knicks doing good. But I'm not expecting it to happen until it happens. And will it happen? I really don't know. I hope so, but I don't know. So that is it, everybody. Yeah, if the Knicks make something, if something big happens, I'll definitely make another video again. But yeah, hopefully all works out well. And yeah, you will catch me on the airwaves next semester. Have a good summer, everybody. Peace out.